everybody. Today I'll be teaching you everything about what happened in the American Revolution, what happened before, what happened after, and everything later. Actually, I won't teach you what happened after. I'll teach that in another video, but right now, what happened before and what happened after. So first, what happened was the Battle of Lexington. No, that was the first of the American Revolution, but that's a different thing. That's a different subject. The first thing was the French and Indian War. The French and Indian War was a war between France and Britain. They were fighting over a huge chunk of land called Ohio Valley River. Ohio Valley River was a huge chunk of land in North America, and it would make a lot of space in French or Great in England. So all they did was fight and fight and fight all over that. And then right after that, the British lost so much money that they went into debt. They wasted so much money that they needed to borrow from other people, but they couldn't pay it all. And they got sneaky. And then right after, do you know what happened? They put taxes on everybody but themselves. Whenever people had to buy stuff, taxes. The first tax, Sugar Act, the Sugar Tax, Sugar Act, whatever you call it. It was first. It was everything that the British put taxes on the sugar and molasses. And then they put taxes on tea, and other drinks. Tea was like everything they done back then. And then they put a tax on playing cards, which was the only source of entertainment back then. And they took away everything. Like they put a tax on everything. One day they had their own catchphrase. No taxation without representation. And with that phrase, they protested a lot. And then but they still didn't change the rules. And then after the rule changed, the British went full and added more taxes. But then we got so tired of it, we went outside the custom-built courthouse for British in the U.S. and we were yelling, protesting. British came. We were throwing snowballs at them. But the British, they shot real gunshots. 5 people died. But Paul Revere, a main character in all of the American Revolution, he made 4 coffins because he knew at least 4 people would die. But you know what? 1 person died extra. 5 people died in that. So he had to draw another coffin. And then came the Boston Tea Act, or Tea Party, where they got so mad that they asked the governor to take away all that tea since they couldn't pay for it with all those taxes. So they asked to take them away. But the governor said, "You're paying for all that tea. You're not going away with that. Until you pay, you are not doing anything else." So you know what happened? They got onto the ship in the middle of the night. They dumped everything out of the bus. They were like, okay, so imagine this was a box in an American Revolution. It had a bunch of tea in it. This was done. They kept throwing it away. And then right after that, after they did that, the British closed every harbor. Like every harbor. Okay, so imagine in this stick. Imagine. This was the American. They dumped everything. This was the tea in the ocean. But right after that, while they were going home and partying, the British announced that they couldn't get any more, they couldn't trade anymore, nothing. And this was dumb. Like every boat that came, they had to go away since the harbor for the Americans were closed. So they couldn't even come anywhere near the Americans. And then we got so mad that we started a war called the American Revolution. But it was technically also the British, since in that war, the first battle, the Battle of Lexington and Concord, the first war, out of four, I think, out of four, we first lost and then won. But that was just surrender. But in the first, we were in Lexington. This British were like, they shot. And then eventually one shot hit so hard, it was called the bullet around the world. In Lexington, sadly, Paul Revere, one of the main characters, captured, tortured, and he died. But no one knows what happened after that. People don't even know if he died or not. But by now, he is, because old age. But George Washington was there. He was the leader of everything. The first president was the leader of everything, since he knew what to do and everything to do. Since he was the first president, he helped everybody. And then, on Lexington, we had to retreat. But in Concord, we won. We made the British surrender. But then came the Battle of Saratoga. Because, it was a turning point. Because the turning point means that since in the started the American Revolution, the Battle of Lexington and Concord, no one was helping them. They were alone. But then, do you know what happened? The turning point was in the Battle of Saratoga, the French started helping them. And they won the Battle of Saratoga. But then they went to Valley Forge for 4 years to learn about everything. They learned about everything. How to fight, kick, punch, shoot better, aim. And a person called Friedrich von Stuart was there, and he was a trained professional to shoot. This was his shots. Okay, imagine I have to hit that. This was his aim. It would hit the tire immediately. And his shot, even if he was like this, he could hit it immediately. And that's why he was the trainer of them. And then right after 4 years, they were ready. They were ready to win that war. And in 1781, they got news that the British were hiding in Yorktown to get food and water, since they were very low on it after this last battle. Even though it was 4 years, they could have got that food. I think they fought in battle before. They fought a little. So they got tired and they ran out of food, and they just eat everything. So they ran out, and they were in a different country. But once they went to Yorktown, they didn't expect it, because they didn't know one of the British people were a spy from the U.S. And at that time, spies were everywhere. Even the British sent spies. But the British weren't expecting for us to just surround them. So we went from we were in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And from Yorktown, it's a long walk and way. So we went from boats and we went from walking. So this is Philadelphia, Pennsylvania from the screen. This is people from walking. It was so long, it took days to get there. See how slow this is going? And from boats, they were going a little bit faster, but still so slow. And then after a bunch of days of going there, they finally got there. They surrounded the British on land and water. And then but the British still didn't give up. George Washington gave them the option, give up now, and we won't hurt you. But the British wouldn't give up. They wanted our land so bad that they just kept fighting with no materials. So they kept fighting, shooting RPGs, AK-47s, SMGs, more. And then Lord Cornwallis, the leader of the British at that time, gave up. He gave up. Yeah, he gave up. Then the U.S. became independent. We tried our best to make governments after that. We won the war. We were independent. We celebrated. We did everything we wanted. And for everybody that watched this, I want them to do a little bit of assignment. I want them, if I'm doing it too fast, please pause the video a little. First, let me draw something. I've finished this a little. Okay, here, this. Try your best. Here, I'm gonna try your best. Copy this down. Make this exact thing. Try making the pictures. These two people, there are two people here. Try making a picture. And this is my example for chapter 1. If you're wondering, what chapter 1? You never told us to write anything. I am actually asking you to write. Go on, if you have good handwriting, please write it on paper. But if you don't, just go to Google Docs and please do it on your computer or something. If you don't have a computer, get your iPad or mom's phone. You'll have to do whatever you think. But I want you to make a chapter 1. The chapter 1 will be introduction about American Revolution. You're going to introduce all the battles, whatever happened like before the Battle of Lexington and Concord, what happened before the American Revolution. And in this, you see where it says chapter 1? I want you to write chapter 1, how it happened. And then write everything about the American Revolution and pre-war. And then draw this. And for I want 3 chapters. Chapter 2, pick a battle. Battle of Lexington and Concord. Battle of Saratoga. Valley Forge, even though that's not really a battle, you can pick that. And Battle of Yorktown. And in this, you have to write an informational essay about what happened in the middle of what happened. And in chapter 3, if you did the Battle of Yorktown for chapter 2, you have to do Battle of Yorktown for chapter 3. If you did Saratoga, you have to do Saratoga for chapter 3. Valley Forge for chapter 3. So if you got it, please send it in the comment section. And chapter 3 should be, imagine you're a soldier in the American Revolution that just fought the war. I want you to think about that. And if you want, this is my chapter 1. If you want, please pause this and see. But otherwise, everybody stay calm. Peace.